Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Vobes show on the 22nd of June 2018. I'm Richard Vobes. It's the end of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. I'm not in an allotment. I'm back in the back room of a terraced house in Worthing at the edge of the South Downs at the foot of the English Channel. And here am I, ladies and gentlemen. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. Actually, I just need to move my camera slightly around there. There we are, just to centre everything up, which is a bit better. Hope you're well and dandy. Had a good day. Have you had the last 24 hours? Have they been exuberatingly exciting? What have you been doing? Just on my own today, ladies and gentlemen, although the lovely Julia does send her regards to everybody from Espanol, which is marvellous. Kushti Phil is there, the lovely Paul Hine, we have John Berger, we have the lovely Julia. Hey you, hey you! Paul Watts, Anne Osborne, Steve Pilfold, Mark Selwood, Kevin Hall, Emily Champion. I'm back, she says. Did you miss me? Soreen Diegelman is there. And Nikki Jess, Paul Watts, I think I've said Paul Watts, Matthew Holdsworth has arrived, Linda Kane, and all the lovely usual people who are. If you are somebody new and you've never come to the show or you're lurking in the background, do come along and say, hello, hello mate, hello, how are you? We'll be very welcome to see you. We're a lovely community here. So make yourself comfortable and sit back and enjoy the next hour's goodness knows what. It's the end of the week, ladies and gentlemen. I'm off to the Forest of Dean next week, Monday to Thursday. So I don't even know. I can't even tell you if there's going to be shows next week. It's a bit of a worry, really. I don't know if there's going to be any internet up there. I haven't been able to sort of go up there and double check and make sure. So it's all going to be a bit fly on the wall. Hey ho. Terence Combe has arrived. Pam Earnshaw is here. Steve Pilfold is there, which is great. Cynthia Walder and Pam McIntosh. They're all here, ladies and gentlemen, all accounted for. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're well. What have you been up to? Have you been doing much on this Friday? We've had a few days here in the UK. If you're from the UK, if you're watching from, well, certainly in the southeast, we've had some fantastic sunshine. Beautiful. It's been beautiful to go nipping down into the town. I've been nipping down into the town today to buy a few things for my forthcoming trip. Suddenly realised that I hadn't got everything together. I'm not quite sure why it's taken me so long to get myself completely and utterly prepared. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that I will be prepared by the end of it. Still got 2 days, haven't we? We've got Saturday and Sunday. Now, the Forest of Dean trip, let me tell you, I'm away from Monday to Thursday, and I'm staying in this wonderful gypsy caravan in a place called Huntly. You can look that up, Huntly. I don't know if it's in Gloucestershire, because it's just over the River Severn, so I don't know what county that's in, actually. It's just off the A40. Anyway, it's very nice. It's in the Forest of Dean. Now, there's some bits to the north and there's quite a bit to the south, but it's fairly central. It's good enough for what I want, because I may go up into the Wye Valley as well as down into the Severn. Hang on, what do they call it? You've got the Wye Valley and the Severn something. The Severn. Well, it's like the Severn Valley, but it's not the Severn Valley. It's something I can't remember. I've been reading my. Where is it? Hang on a minute. So many bits and pieces here to go through. I've been reading my book about walking in the Forest of Dean, and it does tell you the difference between the Severn Valley and the Wye Valley and the something else. The Severn. I don't know what it is. So there we go. Which is rather good. So, now, we've got postcards, ladies and gentlemen. We have postcards. Postcards for the wall. So, it's a shame that the lovely Julia is not here to be able to bung them up on the wall. I'm actually, because I've been at the allotment, I've actually set the desk in an unusual place. It's the same place as far as you're concerned, but actually, there's a bigger difference here. now to get to the wall. The wall is slightly further back. I don't quite know why I've done that. It gives me a bit more space here. Steve Blakey has just arrived. Hello, Steve. Claire Leach is there, which is nice. Todd Desborough, hello to you. Linda Kane. Everybody's all coming in. Some people are a bit late. They're showing their certificates and all that, giving their excuses to the doorman, which is what we like to see. Yeah, so let's have a look and see what we've got. So first up, ladies and gentlemen, first up, if I can get hold of it, it's all a bit slippery up there. First up, got a lovely postcard here. Now, I don't know who this is from or even who these two people are. I think, are they the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? The new Duke and Duchess? But I believe they're going to come to tea and they're going to appear on the show, ladies and gentlemen, these strange people. I'm not quite sure who they are, but anyway. Oh, it says on the back here, HRH. Oh, I wonder what that means. Prince Harry and Ms. Meghan. I thought, wait a minute, isn't she a Mrs. now? Isn't she? I thought they got married. Isn't she a Mrs.? When this was printed, obviously she was just a Ms. because she was divorced, wasn't she? I wonder what happens if she divorces Harry now, because she's, you know, quite used to being a divorcee, and it makes you wonder whether if she was then to go, do you know what? Yeah, it's nice being married to a royal, but actually, wrong one. Should have done the other one, the one that's going to be king, a little bit closer to the time. Maybe she'll, you know, muscle in. Who knows? I'm not saying she will. But of course, what would happen if she did though? Would she then get half the palace? Would she be entitled to half? Well, they're not going to. He's not going to be king, is he? But whatever he has, would she suddenly get half? You know, in the divorce courts and all that business. Be very interesting. Anyway, so this is a postcard. It says here, to the lovely Richard and the fans of Vobes. It says at Vobes Towers, Worthing, UK, on Earth. Well, it's definitely on Earth, so that's very nice. It says, hello everybody. Hello, person writing this card. I visited London recently and I bought this card and promptly forgot to sell it. LOL. Doh. I didn't see the Queen or Prince Harry or Meghan Markle, but I did see inside of an irregular choice shoe shop. Irregular choice? Irregular choice? I know somebody who goes to the irregular choice shoe shop. All those beautiful, lovely fairy type shoes and unicorns and rainbows. I know somebody who goes to that sort of place. Yes. And comes back with her face beaming, absolutely beaming over the top. And the excitement just oozing from her body, from every pore oozing from her body. Yes, I know somebody. I wonder if it could possibly be the same person. It couldn't possibly be her, surely. Then it goes on, it says, I'm off to Spain for a spell. So I'll be missing you all, but we'll send another card soon. Oh, can't wait to get another card. That's very good. Wait a minute. I know somebody who's also gone to Spain. Now, hang on a minute. I was going to mention somebody who's gone to Spain. I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Yes, she's a oh, what is she? No, not a blonde. No, not a brunette. No, not ginger. No, she's not a ginger. Now, what is she? She's, oh, no, not a blue rinse. No, she's not one of the Worthing blue rinse brigades. Oh, no. Now, hang on. Who is it? Oh, golly, purple. That's right. She got purple coloured hair. Yes, Julia. Yeah, I bet it's from Julia. I bet it's from the lovely Julia. Let's have a look. It says, I'll be sending on love, bubbles and hugs from TLJ Julia. And I can tell you there were a few kisses. I don't know whether those kisses were for you or whether they were... There's 3 of them, actually. So maybe one's for you, one's for me. Oh, and the other one's obviously for Eric. Eric? She sent you a kiss. Don't look like that. Sorry about that. He just looked horrified. No, don't look like that. She sent you... I better give Eric his kiss. Hold on a minute. I just pucker up. Because this is how I do my kissing, by the way. I don't do a lot of it, as you can imagine. I just go and give Eric Julia's kiss. Eric, this is... One moment, please. Just talk amongst... Well, I was going to say talk amongst yourselves, but often you do. Here we are. Here's the kiss for you. Thank you very much, sir. That's... Oh, he's fainted. He's fainted. Dear, oh dear. Oh, well, anyway, so that needs to go up on the wall. So I think we'll bung that up. I need to get some of these to stick it up on the wall so that we can get that nicely hung. Where should we put that? Now, I don't want to hide and go over anybody else's cards. It's very tricky, isn't it? It's a very tricky thing, this. Running out of space. Here we go. That didn't work very well, did it? So, we've got another card, ladies and gentlemen. Moving swiftly on, we've got another card. Yeah. We have another card. It's over here. Now, this card, I'll show you the card. Is it upside down? No, here we go. This is the card. Very nice card. This is a National Trust card, this one. And it's a picture of Sussex with various places in Sussex. So, now, what does it say on here? It says... oh, hang on, I'm reading the wrong side. It says here, Dear Richard... Oh, yes. It says, this exclusive design by illustrator Livy Gosling is inspired by the region that needs to be explored. Breathe the fresh air at Burling Gap and the Seven Sisters. Explore a variety of houses, gardens and unusual buildings to include Alfriston Clergy House. I've been there, made a video, thanks very much. The first built property of the National Trust. Oh, there we are. It's just marvellous. And then it goes on to say, for further information, www.com. nationaltrust.org.uk. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, there's somebody's scribbled on it as well. Hang on a minute. Somebody's put their little scribbly thing. It says, what does that say? Dear Richard. Oh, yeah, Dear Richard. Yes, that's. I can read cards very well, thank you. Saw this and thought of you. Oh, that's very nice. Sussex. Yes, lovely. Bought from Bateman's, Burwash, Kipling's house. Oh, Bateman's in Burwash, Kipling's house. Oh, you went to Mr. Kipling's house. That's nice, isn't it? He does make exceedingly good cakes, I know, Mr. Kipling. So I hope you scoffed one when you were there. Also, thought you might like the Amsterdam guidebook. Oh, the Amsterdam guidebook. Yes, find the red light district. Find the names and numbers of all the ladies standing in the doorways. Right? What? And find out the addresses of those shops that sell the hash cakes and various other intoxications. If you've got the Amsterdam handbook, you can go there at a discount price all weekend. Oh. That's very handy. Hadn't thought about doing that. But now you've sown the seed. It'd be great. No, wait a minute. I don't think that's quite the same thing. Amsterdam. I'm not sure he's talking about the place. It's a guidebook. We were all given ours on the Wreck Tour last weekend. Oh, well, no, maybe it was Amsterdam, the place. He's obviously got wrecked when he went to Amsterdam, down the red light district and down all, you know, the hash cake shops and all that malarkey. It's my dad's day treat. I'm a bit confused here. From Nigel Sadler in Tunbridge. There we are. Thank you very much, Nigel Sadler from Tunbridge. Ted Desborough says, Andy Ash, are you in the house tonight? Andy Ash, are you in the house? Are you in the house? 1 rap for yes, 2 raps for no. Nope. He's not. Kevin Hall says, Nigel, we need to take over... What? Hang on, it's gone. We need to take... Well, the men in white coats take him away. What are you saying? Shame I wasn't there to witness it firsthand, says Emily. Again, people are talking to themselves. No, he's not talking about the Amsterdam thing. He's talking about the Amsterdam wreck, which he went to see. Hang on a minute. Let's bung this. Let's bung this on the last remaining board that we have here in the studio. See if we can wreck that one. Wreck being the appropriate word, I think. So hang on a minute. I've got a pin here. 1 pin, you can see this pin here. 1 card, you can see the card there. Stick it in. Ow! God blimey, look at that, blood. See that? That's blood inside the skin. No, I didn't pierce it, just mucking about. mucking about. Now, where shall we shove that? We'll shove that very gingerly there. Hang on a minute. Let's get my chair over here. So, already the studio is in a right mess. Pins all over the floor, cards, and no, wait, that goes in here. Just carry on talking amongst yourselves, won't you? There we go. Anything likely to drop off? Probably all of it's likely to drop off. Oh, blimey. We need a bigger board. Funny enough, I did see a pegboard at my father's, so that might do. We'll just shove that up there. I think we're all right. Right. Yes, it is a bit of a bonkers show today. Claire Leach says, my mother and father went to Amsterdam and brought back hash lollipops for myself and my brothers. Did she know? Did she know that they were hash lollipops? That would be very interesting. Glenn Johnson has popped in. Colin is saying hello, or he's saying hello to Colin, not quite sure. Jonathan Ross, wouldn't spill blue. Okay, that's my... Maybe I should come and create a nice wall display. Probably need the teacher's hand, to be honest, because it's all a little bit crazy here. And I want to get a nice little lamp. I want to get a nice little lamp for the back there. If anyone's got a spare lamp, you know, like a little angle poised lamp or a small little reading lamp or nothing too bright, about 40 watts. If anyone's got one and you don't want it, send it to me, because I would like to shove a little lamp in there. I think a little bit of light at the back would look quite good, or something. I did want to get a neon sign. We did talk about that before. A neon sign saying the Vobes show would be fantastic, wouldn't it? You know. But I think we're looking at about £800 to £900 for something like that. We'll have to keep looking, won't we? Anyway, going back to Nigel Sadler, what he was talking about is this guidebook. This isn't Amsterdam. This is a guidebook to the wreck of the site of Amsterdam in 1749 at Hastings. You see, look there. I'll have a better gander at that. And in fact, on the back, you'll see. Actually, that should be down so you don't have that obscuring your view. There's the actual boat on the back there, or some of it, and you can. It came ashore. Here we are. Here's a lovely picture of it. That one there. You can have that for free. That one. Shipwreck and Coastal Heritage Centre in Hastings, and you can go and look at the wreck. And this is what you see. Look at that. That's what you see when you go down to Hastings, and it's definitely. I would like to go down. Is that open to the public? Can you just go? I don't know if Nigel's actually out there. If he is, can you just go down there and have a rummage around on your own, or do you have to have a guided tour, or is it enclosed? Because presumably the sea goes over it. I haven't had a chance to look at the actual book, but it looks fascinating. Here's a few people looking down. One of them's dropped a contact lens, as you do. It's quite amusing, if you happen to be amused by that sort of thing. Anyway, fascinating guidebook. Thank you very much, Nigel, if you're watching. Much appreciated. Now, I'm going to set a puzzle for you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to set a puzzle for you. Remember we did a puzzle on Wednesday? Went down very badly, so I'm going to do it again. Let's have a look. Vobesy, says Philip Scarborough. Hello, Philip Scarborough. Lovely to see you there, all the way from Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi. I can imagine you, Philip Scarborough, sitting there on your porch in the last rays of the sun. Probably in the afternoon, isn't it, where you are at the moment? With the sun blazing down on you. You've got a big hat on, some dark shades. Your feet are up on the veranda. What do you call it? The little fence thing that goes around the veranda. You know, you've got your Jack Daniels there, and you're just sort of, you know, you half listening to the Vobes stuff, and you're half. What I should have done, of course, is got. I wonder if I can do it this way. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to try something because now I've not done this before. Let me Let me do that. I'm going to try an experiment live because Philip Scarborough will appreciate this if it works. Emily Champion says, reminds me when we had to stop a rugby match to look at my earring. Yeah, there we go. It's like, hello, I've lost an earring. I've lost it. Where's it gone? It's here on the floor somewhere. But wait, stop everybody. You're all going to look. Because I can imagine Emily Champion being one of those demanding people who has stopped everyone to do that. Nigel Sadler says, yes, he's here. There he is. Look, yes, it's there all the time. But the lowest tide is just after full and new moons. Where do you go to get a new moon? I mean, I've often wanted to go and have a new moon. Sometimes I look up and I think, do you know, that old moon, bit dusty now. Nobody goes up there with a duster, do they? Nobody goes and cleans the moon. Just hanging there, looking forlorn sometimes. Nobody goes and cuts the grass on the moon either. Are you still there? Are you still there, Philip Scarborough? I want to know if you... Oh, yes, it's raining and I'm editing and listening to some crazy bull bloke. Well, wait, I'm going to make your day, hopefully, if I can get this to work. In the old days, I had lovely speedy computers and everything. At the moment, I'm just using knackered old stuff. But we're going to see if this will work because I haven't prepped this up. But... I don't think it is going to work. Oh, well, it might work. I don't know. Is that actually connected to the internet? This one might not be connected. I wonder if I can do it a different way. He's thinking now. He's thinking. Oh, that one's taking too long. Let me just... I'm going to try something else now. I'm going to try and explain. I'm doing this just for one person, ladies and gentlemen, just to see if it will work. Hang on. So, what do I want? I want... Oh yeah, hang on. Don't panic. You don't know what I'm doing, but hopefully I know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, here we go. I don't know if this will play out loud. Well, it does seem to be playing. Is that playing? Can you hear that? Yeah, I think you can. This is for Philip Scarborough. Anyway, so there we are. That was for Philip Scarborough. I just did that as a bit of a joke, ladies and gentlemen. When we used to start the very first Vobes shows back in the day, we started with Herb Albert's A Taste of Honey, which is what that was. And Philip keeps saying to me, use that as the theme tune. Bring it back. It's got to be the one. So... I just did that because I saw him. You know, this show, I should tell you, is so personally drafted. It's so personally put together. So, you're all very, very much, part of the team. All of you, even those people who are lurking, because I know some people are lurking in the background, watching but never saying anything. So it's always nice if you're saying something. There we go. That's made Philip Scarborough's day. He's got some love hearts in his eyes. There we go. And he's editing at the same time. So we have to be careful because suddenly there'll be a fast bit in this moody piece of whatever it is he's doing. There'll be this very long shot, shall we say, of this woman in the rain, with all her hair draggled down in a very tight-fitting dress, and she's there looking, very sexy and demure, and the lighting is just principally coming from one direction, and no, not the band, not coming from it's not like the band are all standing there with torches. No, I didn't mean that. It's coming. The key light is coming in, say, through the door of an old railway station. You can see that. So that's like, and it's sort of a bit of moonlight, sort of slightly blue, and then there'll be a bit of fill, just a little bit of fill in here, just to get her features, and it's all in black and white like that. And she's looking very despondent as well as demure. She's looking very sad because unfortunately her lover has just been run over by a train, and he's in bits. Obviously he's dead, and she's sort of standing there looking demure and all lovely and very thin and with wet stuff and things protruding and all that. And the camera is very slowly just coming in on a little crane, little dolly shot like that, just coming in very slowly. And of course, Philip Scarborough is editing this, and then suddenly we get da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da, and suddenly, for some unknown reason, the camera's going va-dum, va-dum, and it's ruined the whole motion picture. So you've got to be careful, Philip, as you edit that thing, listening to some bald bloke in the background, because it can all go mad. It can all go wrong. He says, you edit better jobs than I do. Well, I edit my own nonsense, that's the thing. Bring back the clapperboard, Richard. I am a human clapperboard. I'm missing half the show. Grr, I hate it when I'm working, says... so what are you actually doing today, Mark Selwood, when you say you're working? Finely honed comes to mind. Yes, me, I'm finely horned. Yes, I have to file them down every day, the little bumps, the little bumps. So there we go. And then I CGI Richard's head on her body. Yes, and suddenly there's me looking very thin with pert nipples. Oh, am I allowed to say nipples on the internet? Are you actually allowed to say that? I've said it now, so let those two little images float about in front of you, mesmerising you on a Friday night as you're thinking, maybe I shall go out down to the nightclubs in Amsterdam, have some hash cakes, and then nip down to the red light district where everybody's obviously making films, recording. Because whenever I heard the red light district as a kid, because I used to make videos and things, the naivety of me, you see, when you go to a film studio, they always have like a red light on, or a sound studio, they have a red light to say it's live, to say it's recording. And in a film studio, in the old days, you'd have red light and bell. So they would have a red light would go on, and then they would have a bell would ring to tell everybody that everyone had to shut the hell up because they were just about to do a take. Well, I always used to think the red light district in Amsterdam was the filming district. I thought that's why it was named. Of course, I'm sure lots of films are being made over there in that area, but not the sort of films you could show to your granny. But anyway, if you can't show them to your granny, send them to me. I'll vet them for you and see if Yvette doesn't mind being in them. Anyway, enough of that gay banter. So that was the postcard. Yes, we're getting through it, ladies and gentlemen. This is an envelope, which is where the other stuff came in. Now, I've been buying stuff, ladies and gentlemen. I've been buying stuff for my Forest of Dean exploit. Oh, I was going to launch the quiz. I beg your pardon. We'll come back to what I've been buying in a minute. So, this is a second quiz from the book that I found in my father's loft, Mind-Bending Classic Puzzles. As I say, we did it Wednesday. It didn't go down very well, so we're going to have another go today. See if we can lose a few more viewers. Always good. Simon Brown has joined. Danny Harris has lowered the tone. I'm not even going to repeat that. Mark Selwood said, I saw your adult video you did, Richard. What did you think? What did you think, Mark Selwood, of my adult video that I did? Did you like it? Did it do it for you? If it did, could you write the comments on the back of a £50 note and send them to me? And I will improve it next time, and you could do the same again. Paul Couchman has arrived. Thank goodness for that. We were so worried, Paul. Where have you been? We're waiting for your tarts. We've been over to Amsterdam. We couldn't find any tarts there. We want your chocolate tarts, those lovely Regency chocolate tarts. And also, we want you to pick a date so that I can come and make the next video from your very interesting recipe book. And strangely enough, actually, in the other room, see if I can find it in time. Stay there, Paul, because I'm going to disappear and try and found in my dad's loft, my grandma's old cooking book that she wrote in longhand herself. It's in bits, so maybe I can pick your brains on a recipe. So don't go. See how tailored this show is. You couldn't do that on the BBC. This is why my place is here, behind the microphone, behind the camera, behind bars, unable to escape. That's why I'm here. So there we go. He says, hello, marvellous. Right, so, oh, I see. Danny Harris is now clarifying what he was talking about was the feathered variety of those things, which now, if I mention them, nobody knows whether I'm being whatever the word is or not. So, mind-bending classic puzzles. You've got to use the old loaf here. I'm going to set this up, and then we'll come back and see if you know the answer a little bit later. So, here is a picture of a teapot. That's very integral that you get the teapot reference. Okay, so that's the teapot. Now, see if Emily Champion can get this, because she is a teacher, of course. So here we go. A teapot and a strainer cost £31. If the teapot costs £30 more than the strainer, what is the price of each item? I'll read that one more time just to waste a bit of time. A teapot and a strainer cost £31. Well, if the teapot costs £30 more than the strainer, what is the price of each item? There's a question for you. The lovely Julia says, I'm probably going to lose connection, if not already. Please don't lose connection, Julia, because we've got your lovely photos to show. Julia has sent in some lovely photos, and we're going to look at those in a minute. Brendan Potts has joined. Don't mention anything about Amsterdam, because Brendan is 15. So, you know, keep that quiet. Paul Couchman says, dresser is being installed. Another cookery book. Yes, there we go. Paul Hine says, don't forget, people, June the 23rd is National Pink Day. Oh, is it? That's tomorrow, Saturday. We're all going to dress in pink. Good job I'm not doing a show. So, think on that teapot quiz, and I want your answers shortly. You don't have to put them up yet. I'll ask you for the answers in a minute. Now, I'm going to nip next door. But before I do that, I need to put something on to cover me disappearing. So, Mark English. Is Mark English out there? I don't know if I've seen Mark English. Mark English, are you out there? The music you played, says Kushti Full, for Philip Scarborough, brought back memories. It used to be on Worthing Pier with monkey puppets playing in a band to that tune, and it was tuppence ago. How marvellous is that? That was Herb Albert. It was great. It went a bit like this. Yeah. So anyway, that's how it went. So now, Mark English, I can't see if he's there. Maybe he's one of those who's lurking in the background, but he sent me a video, a teaser video, ladies and gentlemen. A teaser. Yeah. For a film that he is making. Now, he has gone out and thought to himself, do you know what? I'm going to do one better than the Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi. The Vobes, he only has a GoPro 5, says Mark English, because sometimes I can read his mind, you know. He's a lovely bloke. And he said, I'm going to go out, I'm going to get a GoPro 6. Now, I haven't seen the GoPro 6. I'm not quite sure what the improvements are or anything, but apparently they're rather groovy. So he says he's very happy with it because he was using a GoPro 4. So he wasn't. He was having problems with the GoPro 4. It was always giving him misty footage for some reason. Anyway, he says the GoPro 6 is fantastic. It's also got great stabilization, and actually I have to say, I don't know if this is shot in it, but it looks pretty good to me. So let's have a little bit of Mark English giving us a promo, ladies and gentlemen, for a video that he is involved in making. Take it away, Mark.
Hi guys, hope you're enjoying your day. Just wanted to show you where I am today. I'm in the ancient village of Chiddingston in Kent, named after the Chidding Stone, an ancient sand crop. Been here for millions of years. Used to be sort of like the meeting point for the village back in medieval times. Extraordinary, extraordinary. What's left. And it's got lovely, lovely countryside surrounding it. We're not far from Hever Castle and Chartwell, home of Churchill. Just wanted to share that with you. Full video coming soon. Enjoy.
Marvellous. Well, I have to say, it's nice to see the camera when it's, you know, set aside so you can see and edited in with the sort of full-length walking shots, which was great. You know, I used to do that in the old Bald Explorer, but I had a cameraman. Now I use the gimbal. It's slightly different, but I may well be doing the same old nonsense myself when I'm in the Forest of Dean. But thank you very much, Mark. Looking intriguing to find out more on your videos when we come. It's always good. So Dave Baker says, I'm sorry I'm late. That's okay, Dave. It's nice to see you there. Now, here we go. Paul Couchman, I went next door and oh, Mark English says that's still the GoPro 4. Sorry. Well, it looked pretty good to me. Looking forward to the GoPro 6 footage then. And all that lovely stabilisation. Anyway, we're looking forward to the main video that you're making as well. And, of course, the Merry Wives of Windsor. Make sure you get to see that. So that's all good. Now, Paul Couchman, here we go. Here is an ancient-looking book. This one, I think, is a notebook that my granny wrote recipes in, handwritten. And they are in, I think originally it was in alphabetical. Look at this. So this is kind of, I don't know whether this is from the 30s or 40s. Something like that. Vanilla sauce. What is this? So icing. Here, I'll do icing. I'll read this bit about icing. 3 ounces of icing sugar. 1 Chloe powder. Don't know what that is. And half a gill of water. Can't read her writing. That's the problem. It says here, sluice icing sugar, dissolved chalk powder. Oh, it's chocolate powder. Chocolate powder. There we go. Sieve icing sugar. Dissolve chocolate powder in water and stir in icing sugar. This must not be heated again. It should be something stirred consistently. Spread on cake and decorate with walnut or something else, niblets or something. So there we go. That was awkward, wasn't it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Then there's this one here, something soup. 10-minute soup. 10-minute soup. The writing is not very easy to read. 2 ounces of marge, 2 ounces of flour, 2.5 pints of milk, water or stock, 4 something of tomato sauce. Anyway, it goes on. But you see what I mean? I mean, it's all falling to bits, but it was clearly it was very well used. I don't know if Paul Couchman is still there. Maybe I'm doing this to thin air now. Welsh rarebit. Here we go. If you want to know how to do Welsh rarebit, 1 cup of milk and hot water, 1 ounce of flour, a teaspoon of made mustard, 1 ounce of butter, something of cheese, 4 ounces of battered toast. So there we go. 4 ounces of buttered toast. It would be great if there was a date, but I don't think there is. I'm just looking at the very front. Cookery. It's a very ancient looking. I mean, by ancient, we're talking, you know, I reckon this must have been in the 50s. Probably after the war. Scones, ham, egg and pie, sausages, rolls. But sadly no date. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. That was for Paul Couchman, who's promptly vanished. So that was a waste of time. So there we go. So I prefer this to Nigella already. Yes, I'm not a great fan of Nigella. A lot of people seem to sort of find Nigella incredibly enticing, but I don't see it myself. She's not my cup of tea. Linda Kane says, thanks, oh, right, that's not to me. Very cheap strainer. Teapots are evil. Steve Pilford says, £30 and 50p. £30.50 and 50p must be the cost of this. Let's just see. A teapot and a strainer cost £31. If the teapot costs £30 more than the strainer, what is the price of each? He's absolutely right. It's £30.50 for the teapot or the strainer, and 50p for the other item, which presumably is the strainer. Otherwise, it's a very cheap strainer and a very expensive teapot. But anyway, there we go. So that's marvellous. Well, we're getting through it. What's the time? Let's have a look. Is it time to go? No, it's not time to go. Let's have a look at the lovely Julia's photos, because I don't know if lovely Julia is still there. She's struggling to keep the connection. So lovely Julia has gone to Spain because there's a wedding going on that she's involved with. It's not her wedding, obviously, because she's already married, but I think it's a cousin or a friend of a friend, or a bloke across the road who knew a chap who walked a dog whose brother once had a car ride with a bloke who climbed up a mountain and saw a pygmy who was jumping around on a small sellotape pit with a bloke that he once knew in a pub when he sold him an old elf. Something like that. I can't remember the exact details. Anyway, she sent me some pictures. Let's have a look at them. So here we are. This is a tree, a lovely looking tree somewhere in... This is Valencia, I should point out. This is where all those migrants ended up. That boat, those boats of migrants, those 600 migrants ended up. I don't know if Julia's bumped into them. And asked them if she could borrow the rubber dinghy. That would be quite useful. We could go up the River Arun in there in the rubber dinghy. Anyway, so there's a nice tree at night time with the old lights and stuff. It's looking. This is a nice looking town in Espagnole. There's some nice whatever you call that art, sculptured art. It looks like a crazy band. There's somebody playing what looks like xylophone out of boiled eggs. Not boiled eggs, maybe they're gourds, are they? A xylophone of gourds, I don't know. But anyway, it looks very intriguing. So that was very nice. I don't know if this is the hotel they're staying in or it's the embassy. It's a place of importance, so I imagine it must be the hotel that the lovely Julia is staying in. I can't imagine that she would stay in anywhere shabby. And here, looking out from her window, she looks down on some allotments, and in Spain. Now it's quite interesting because it's a very dry country, isn't it? And these are allotments, not like us with tons of grass and everything. It looks very dry and very sandy. You need to get over there and water some of that, clearly. But there you go. And then having another walk around, there's a few little shrubs and trees and a rainbow seat. I can see why she took the picture of that. And a couple of nudes. They're holding up a great big bowl on their head with some gargoyles, presumably where the water spouts out. So anyway, we just thought we'd share some of those pictures. Very kind of you, Julia, for sending them in. Sending them over. That's very nice. If anybody wants to send their holiday snaps to me, think again. So that was that. Right, now I'm going to tell you... we have got the group. Don't panic. I am coming to the group. Oh, one other thing to do. I don't know if Philip Scarborough is still there. Marvellous. So we just keep coming back to old Herb, make sure he's still doing his stuff. Danny Harris says, Richard, Hart, did you think of the... What? Hart, did you think of the wood carving link I tagged you? Maybe you meant what, but you wrote heart, which is a strange thing to write, but there you go. I'm assuming that's predictive text, which if it is, switch it off, because it's rubbish. What did I think of the wood carving link? I thought it was a lovely link. It had all the numbers in the right order and it was underlined. It was in blue. And when I pressed it, it went to a page. So I thought the link itself was particularly good. The page, that was most peculiar. I'm only having a laugh. No, it looked very interesting. I'll have to have another look. I only had, to be honest with you, I had a cursory glance like this. Oh, yeah. And then I went back to twiddling my thumbs, because I do a lot of twiddling my thumbs. Actually, I should tell you, the other day when we were waiting to go on air, the lovely Julia and I, we had a game of thumb wars. We did. No, honest. And I have to also tell you, actually, I shouldn't have mentioned that. Why did I mention that? Why did I mention blooming Thumb Wars? Because the lovely Julia won. Yeah, she was very adept at the thumb trick. That's how that works. So there we go. Herb Albert and Tatuana Base. I think Richard Suggett has finally arrived. Yeah, you see, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Suggett at the end of the show yesterday was so overwhelmed by the excitement of having his allotment a second time on the Vobes show that he passed out, and I just left him there, just left him prone. He was just lying there, you know, with his beard and the globe artichokes growing all around him like giant triffids. He said to me, I said, why do you grow them? Because they're a bit cumbersome, aren't they? And he said, I can't get rid of them. The roots have taken root. He says every allotment, every little plot of land, they're all over the place. They're like a vicious weed. We've all got to cook them up. We've all got to eat them. Every time somebody comes to the allotment to do a live cam show, he says we always cook them up eventually and try and get rid of them that way. So that's all good. Now, I've been buying things, ladies and gentlemen. Have we got through all the other rubbish that I was supposed to be doing? I think so. I've been buying things, ladies and gentlemen. For an example, you may have noticed I'm wearing a new sweatshirt. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, I was aware that when I'm in this gypsy caravan in the evenings, it may get a bit chilly. So I needed to have a few things. And I usually buy my clothes, I have to say, because of the impecunious nature of my bank balance. I usually have to go to the charity shops. Hang on a minute. Yes, I normally have to go to the charity shop. And I go into, you know, the Oxfams and the Scope and the British Heart Foundation. But they didn't have a violin. None of them. So I haven't been able to get... Oh, gosh. Now I've clogged up my throat. Just a minute. Oh, just 1 second. That's better. Yeah, so I normally buy my clothes, but I was looking at some, you know, like not fleeces. I hate fleeces, horrible things. Those hoodie things, like the blue one. No, the blue one I've got. My son gave me that. Very nice gesture. He couldn't fit into it because he's a big muscle-bound boy now, and he gave it to me, and I've been wearing it a lot. And the lovely Julia once said to me, she said, "Oh, you look good in blue." I said, "Oh, I'll bear that in mind." So I've gone and bought a red one. Yeah, well, obviously I didn't bear it in mind for long enough, did I? But no, I went round. So then I thought, oh, where? And I looked in all the charity shops, couldn't find one. Couldn't find one at all. Not, you know, not a reasonable one. So in the end, I thought, well, I wonder where to go. Where would you go? So we've got a TK Maxx. So I went into TK Maxx and had a look. And they had a few, very pricey, I have to mention. Very pricey. And because of my peculiar nature and my tight-fistedness and my miserly genes, I didn't buy one. So I nipped into... We have a shop called Beals here. I don't know if you have a Beals, whether that's just a family thing here or whether there's many of them. And they were having a massive discount. And apparently this Jack Jones bloke, I don't know who he is, apparently it's supposed to be quite a known brand. I had absolutely no idea. I thought it was the house brand, to be honest. I just thought it was, you know, part of some cheapy thing. And it was £12, ladies and gentlemen, £12. Came home, Billy's girlfriend Sharifa said, "Cool, that's expensive." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "That'd be about 40 quid, was it?" I said, "No, it was £12. She said, "Blimey, you should have bought two." So, I should have bought two, but I didn't want to spend 24 quid, that's the thing. Paul Couchman says, "Missed out the recipes, problem with the internet, I'll catch it on the replay." Paul Couchman, how dare you? How dare you? There was I showing you these ancient old recipes from the medieval period. They were amazing. What you could do with a stripped pineapple. Yeah, I can tell you. Get a load of cloves in that and you're in problems. Glenn Johnson says, "Nothing wrong with charity shops. Better than boring high street stuff." Yes, well, I do buy quite a bit. I did go into a charity shop and bought a couple of shirts, £5 each. And I shall be... Actually, this shirt here. This one here. That's charity shop, thank you. That's a charity shop jobby. Yes. Who would want to wear that? I was. Nothing wrong with them. £5. Can't go wrong, can you? Nice top, Richard. I've got back... Oh, I've got Jones' sunglasses. Have you? Could you give them back to him? He's been looking for them for ages. He plonked them down one day, and some chef, some historic chef, picked them up and ran off with them. It's an outrage. Not to worry. Todd Desborough says Jack Jones was a singer. Oh, was he? Not Tom Jones. You're not getting confused with "It's not unusual to be in love with anyone." Wait, I'm getting two songs mixed up there, aren't I? It's not unusual to be in love with anyone. Yeah, okay, that was... thought he was a singer, says Linda Kane. Anne Osborne says, I like charity shops. Nothing wrong with the charity shops. In fact, actually, though, they're a bit too upmarket. When I was clearing out the dad's house with my sister, we had all this tat that we were hoping to get onto the charity shops. Turns out it's too much tat. They won't even take it. No, we can't take that old stuff. I thought, you know, it might have a use. Not in this shop, it won't. Oh, right, fair dues. Anyway, so that's one thing I've been buying. What's the time? It must be nearly time to go. Oh, nearly. Of course, I'm going to the Forest of Dean. One of the things, I'm walking and talking. So, of course, I've got my book, which I bought on second-hand. Thank you very much. Yes, I always try and get stuff second-hand if I can. But I couldn't get this one second-hand, so I had to buy this new. It is, of course, the OS map of the Wye Valley and the Forest of Dean. And it does have the Welsh version of it, the Differn a Forest Dina, if you know what I mean. And also, it says now includes a mobile download. So I needn't have bought it. I could have just got the mobile download if I'd known the code. But you're not supposed to share the code, are you? So this is very good. It's a special one. Oh, look, here we are. Hang on a minute. That green bit, I'm assuming, is the Forest of Dean. The Forest of Dean, ladies and gentlemen, nice and green in the Forest of Dean. If you know what I mean. You'll see Martin Sheen in the Forest of Dean with all the green, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so... very handy. The other thing I bought, ladies and gentlemen, now I did actually push the boat out a little bit here. And again, this isn't second hand. Now this wasn't with the patrons' money. This is with my own hard saved money. I should let you know. Brasher or Brazier or whatever they're called, make of walking boots, and supposedly I've never heard of them, to be honest with you, but supposedly they're expensive. And believe me, they were expensive. Now, normally, I've bought the sort of middle-of-the-road ones, the sort of 40 quid ones, or that's the low end. And actually, some have lasted me quite well. They've not been waterproof. And then, when I came down Cader Idris, one fell to bits completely. It was just coming down the rock face, and it just, what have you. So I wanted to invest in something that would last a couple of years and be quite good. So, I went into this. I won't give the brand away, but I went into this shop where they sell them, national brand in Worthing, all over the place. And I looked at boots. And there was this again. It was one of these Brasher. I shouldn't really tell this story now. And I put the first one on, and it was lovely, very nice. And I put the second one on. And I was just doing up the laces, and you know some of the boots, they have these little hooks that the lace goes under the hook so you can tighten it up. Went to do that in the shop, right in front of the shop assistant who was serving me. The hook pinged right off, like that. So I said, oh, that's no good, is it? I said, have you got another one? She said, oh, I'm ever so sorry. And then she went off and she said, no, not in your size. We've only got, that's the only ones we've got in it. I said, well, obviously I can't use that. It's pinged off. Even if you give me a discount, you can't use that. It's pinged off. So she said, yeah, I know how they feel. I said, what? She said, no, nothing. So she said, is there anything else you want? And I said, well, you know, I'm not sure I would buy that make now because it seems... She said, no, it's a very good, reliable make. It's a very, very reliable make. I said, oh, I don't know. Anyway, I had another look round because you know what it's like. There's millions of the blooming things. They're all on these shelves and you're going... I don't know, a shoe is a shoe, isn't it? A shoe is a shoe. The main criteria is I want it waterproof. All the other one... Now, I don't want to go through big, deep puddles or any of that. It's just if it rains. If it rains and you're away... The others, when it rained, your feet would just get wet, and then your shoe would be wet, your socks would be wet, and then that's fine. I don't care, because ordinarily I'd come home and change out the shoes. But when you're stuck there and you've got this pair of shoes, you're going to put them on the next day, and if they're still damp, it's not so good. So I said I want them waterproof. Anyway, they're all quite expensive to get waterproof. So I've gone for these, which is a shoe rather than a boot. And normally I would have the bit up here, you know, that supports the ankle. But I went for these. Very quite expensive, but very well made. But the thing I was looking for in particular was the eyelets. It won't go through. It won't tear these. It won't ping off on these. So they're very nice. Leather, genuine leather. Very, very nice, very comfortable. And she said you can walk about the house. She said, you know, what you could do is wear them in. And you'll get the money back. And I said, what's the point of that? I want to wear them out. I don't want to be on the inside. The whole point is to go out in them and walk. And she didn't laugh. But what she did do, because of that little ping thing, she gave me a discount. She gave me a discount. So I got the shoes at the price, but I basically got the map for free. So that wasn't too bad. So I saved a little bit of money on that. So there we go. So I shall be... Now, if I complain in my walks when I'm out on the Forest of Dean that my feet hurt, you'll know what it is. Borrow someone else's feet, says Glenn Johnson. Yes, thanks for that. Very useful. Mark Selwood says she's probably said you don't know your own strength. Well, I didn't do it that good. Emily Champion reckons I'm going to get trench foot. I don't want to do that. Carrymore boots are excellent, says Kevin Hall. Have boots and shoes. I didn't see them up in the shop that I was in. The local redneck will probably steal your shoes during the night anyway. No, they won't. I shall be wearing them. Very nice indeed, says Dave Baker. Steve Pilford says, I did the zip up on my shorts pocket today after putting the keys in, and the zipper bit came off the end of the zip. Keys in pocket, which is zipped up. Oh dear. Me outside the house with zipped up, can't get into it. You'll have to rip it open. Use those muscular hands of yours. Blisters. Well, this is the thing. You've got to get nice shoes. You don't want blisters if you're doing a lot of walking. Take some plasters with you, recommends Anne Osborne. It's a good idea, actually, so I'll probably have to go and do that. So, anyway, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think... I can barely hear this myself because I don't know why it doesn't come out there. Enough of that. Right, so there we go. I will take some plasters with me. I think we've done everything. We gave you the answer to that. Now, so I don't quite know what will happen, whether I shall be here doing a show from the Forest of Dean. I don't know if the internet will be there where I am. I will take my little modem. At some point I'll get something out, even if it's just a piece to camera and I send it out. We'll do our best. So that's all I can say at the moment. But I definitely, hopefully, unless, you know, something mysterious happens to me in the Forest of Dean, heaven forbid, that, you know, I never come back, I get kidnapped. Because I read in here that the wild hogs do actually still, they've been reintroduced and they still wander around the Forest of Dean. You can see them. And the recommendation is if you come across one, turn round and go back. So... something may happen to the Vobie one-eyed Kenobi. I may not see in my left-hand side, so something could happen, you know. But if everything is okay and I manage to survive, then, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back on Friday for the Friday show. So a week today. So I may disappear. I may go off grid. But I have ensured that the daily walks, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I've edited up 3 of them. I think 3 of them. I'm going to edit up a couple more so that they're all scheduled. They'll be scheduled on YouTube to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning, scheduled on Facebook to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning, so you should get them. So that would be marvellous. Downsland Michael says, interesting that freeze problems hit some of us, but not others. I am going to wait for the YouTube version. I don't know why it is. It's got nothing to do with my end, you see. It must be Facebook dishing it out to you, because this goes up, and generally we don't have many problems this end going up. So I don't know how it is. Alan Taylor Shearer, hello to you, Alan Taylor Shearer. He says, bring back some bacon. If I get hold of that hog, I will wrestle him and get some bacon. Don't get bored. Yes, very clever, Todd. Linda Kane says, I only get freezing on the laptop. Well, you know, that's because the laptop's in the fridge. If you want to take it out of there, that's a silly place for it. Right, be careful in the Forest of Dean, says Mark Selwood. Take a first aid kit. Oh, yes, all these things. I'm not going to write it all down. What did we say? Plasters and a first aid kit. Yeah, probably need a compass. Probably need a guide would be good. And a little old guide, you know, one of those Sherpas. Anyway, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope to come back to you in fine fettle and in one piece, which would be rather good. Oh, wait a minute. We can't go yet because Mark Taylor sent a video. Very short. Mark Taylor sent a video. That's right. I knew there was something I was supposed to do. Oh, and we haven't done the group. Oh, golly. We'll just quickly run through these things. I beg your pardon, because this is the last show. First of all, Mark Taylor sent in this wonderful St. Mary's Church in Aylesbury, The Ringing of the Bells. It's rather lovely, isn't it? The ringing of the bells there, ladies and gentlemen, of the church in Aylesbury. How marvellous is that? So now we'll quickly run through the group before we go. There's me lying about everything, saying we were off. So here we go. This is Paul Hine is at the Grange in Northington. I'm not quite sure where Northington is. It's like being somewhere called Worthington. But anyway, Northington, lovely looking house there with its columns, its Doric columns by the looks of things, and its sort of great big portico. Lovely looking house, which is all very exciting. Thanks for sending that in. Pam Gill has been at St. Mary's Church in Climping, which is a lot of, looks like flint stone there. Not the Flint Stones, but flint stone, if you know what I mean. In the meantime, Mark English has been to Chiddingston in Kent. I think that's where he's making his film. It's all very interesting. Beautiful timber-framed structure there. Look at the stripes, the timber stripes, showing off how much wealth that whoever owned that house would have done. That's why they always had so much timber being shown off. Here we can see, this is Linda Kane. She said, I'm not going to do very much, too much to do at the village. But she didn't say where it was. So I have no idea, Linda, where you are. But some lovely trees and a bit of decoration going around with poppies and all that sort of malarkey, which is very good. In the meantime, Judith Oakley is looking back on East Grinstead. She's been in East Grinstead taking a walk. Turns around to look back at the town. Looks very picturesque there, doesn't it? Very nice. Thank you very much, Judith. And I wanted to spend a bit of time on this one. Joe Smith has sent in a plan for the Tractor Fest in Biddenden. And I'm going to Biddenden in whatever month it is, September I think it is. I can't remember. September, August. I think it's in. I can't remember now. It's in my diary. Anyway, whenever it is, in Biddenden, and actually, does that say? Does that? Hang on a minute. I must get this right because it would be daft to get it wrong. Does that give us the date? No. Country. Oh no, it hasn't got the date on it. So there we are. Look, you can see the layout where the car park is, the exits, the toilets, and the archery. It's interesting. There's going to be all these different things. We've got the horticulture area. We've got Shire horses, tractors area. There's the arena, there's some woods and a pond, and there's working horses, there's crafts, all sorts of stuff. And somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where, the Bald Explorer Live is going to be in amongst all that lot. So that's at the Biddington Tractor Fest and Country Fair. So that's going to be fantastic. Do go along to that. Wendy Wakelin has been out and about I think in Liss Woods, or in some woods, walking the dog this morning. Thank you very much for that. And John Berger remembers the time that my mate Paul Stoneman and I went over to Pennsylvania with him, John Berger, who lives somewhere nearby, and we went to Mechanicsburg, and that is actually a railway station at Mechanicsburg from 2007, so that was some time ago. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, Elaine Brazier has been to St Margaret's Bay, which I assume is near Dover. There's a ferry in the background just chuffing away into outer space, wherever that's going. So, there we go. I think that time now I've got everything. Let's just check the last minute comments. Bring back some bacon. I've read that. Enjoy the Forest of Dean. Tick spray. Well, I'm hoping there won't be any ticks. Which would be great. Anyway, so there we go. Marvellous. I think we're up to date now. So, take care, one and all. Have a lovely weekend, whatever you're up to. But for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this music, it means I'm going to get myself all ready for the Forest of Dean. I shall be bringing you some reports from there, some walks and some, I don't know, a mixture of different stuff. I'm hoping, anyway. So take care, one and all. I don't know when I'll see you. I will do my best to get some bits and pieces out and uploaded from somewhere. But in the meantime, I will be back on Friday next week. So if you don't hear from me, you will, you're bound to. Bear in mind that the lovely Julia will be back in the country next week, and somehow I will get some instructions to her to help, keep things going. Even if I have to send her pictures by text or by email, then she can upload them and give you the lowdown on where the Vobes One-Eyed Kenobi has got to. So take care, thank you very much, all the best, until then, goodbye, 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 sir, goodbye, goodbye, yeah, goodbye, yeah, goodbye, 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 goodbye.